Hello and welcome. Good morning. It's me, the OGGM, your guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, and general internet nonsense for this day, Saturday, the 27th of May, in the year of our Lord Hello Kitty 2023. It is about 9:30 in the morning. I'm broadcasting live from a small island off the coast of Costa Rica that we affectionately refer to as Site B, and I'm drinking coffee. And it's cold. It's time to take a look at the Saturday tabletop role-playing game news. What's going on today in the world of TTRPG that has absolutely nothing, hopefully, to do with Wizards of the Coast. And we've got some new figures from Warhammer. Some new figures from the Warhammer people. It's always nice to see these. So let's take a look at today's entry. Okay. Ooh, already. This guy's cool. Both awesome and sort of cartoonish. I like the fact that he went bright colors instead of the usual dark colors associated with the Warhammer world. That's a change. So this comes to us from the Vault. These are live as of Friday. This is apparently something called Forge World pre-orders. Grab a librarian, Decurion, and upgrades to prep for the Siege of Chthon. So this is part of the Warhammer, the House of Heresy storyline. So this is, I guess, one of the librarians. Blue, yellow, and white. I don't know enough about Warhammer to know if those are the colors of the library. He's got some keys on his armor for some reason. You would think in the future, if you're high-tech enough to have powered armor, you wouldn't need keys anymore, but maybe it's for the look. Since he's a librarian, or she's a librarian, keys of knowledge. And then he's got either a hand grenade or a canteen, not sure. I like the fact that whoever painted this went bright colors instead of the usual dark colors that you associate with Warhammer. This guy would really stand out on a table. He pops, so I like him. And here's another one. This is Imperial Fist, and his name or her is Decurion Sagittar. So I guess he's a named trooper. Again, you've got the bright yellows. He looks like he's a cyborg. Definitely has seen better days, but he's still fighting the good fight. Bright yellow, bright silver. The colors really pop. Whoever painted these really did a nice color job. I would probably, if I could paint even half this good, probably do for the same thing, because I'd want to see, a Warhammer army that went the opposite way again, usually to the darker colors, more somber colors you see associated with that world. This person, whoever painted these, went for really bright, popping colors. Now, in a battlefield, would you wear bright yellow? And probably not, because you stand out like a sore thumb. You're basically wearing a giant yellow target on your chest, but, these guys yell it with pride. Then we have these things. I guess these are little markers for adding a little flair to your figure of choice. These are shoulder pads. So they're little plastic shoulder pads. You would take one and glue it on right here on the figure to add a little extra flair, to the guy. Pretty cool for you modders out there. We've got some more shoulder pads. I guess each one for a specific house or faction in this world. Again, I don't know enough about the Warhammer fantasy, Warhammer sci-fi settings to know what, if anything, these means. But yeah, basically, it's heraldry. So, you would know that if these are on your shoulder pads, your guy belongs to this faction. And if these are on the shoulder pads, your girl belongs to this faction. So it's a way to differentiate your figures. So even if you just bought a bunch of the exact same figures, you can tell that, my blue figures are on this side, but my yellow figures are on this side. So cool. Thank you. If I was a Warhammer person and could paint, I would probably be really into this, because it would save a lot of energy, because I could just buy bulk of the exact same guy and then just mod each one a little individually, and then just put these on the side and go, no, they're not the same. Look, that figure definitely has the blue shoulder pads with the yellow piping, and this figure obviously has the red shoulder pads with the gold piping. So they're completely different units on completely different sides. Yes, I know they look exactly the same, but that's because they were on sale. but completely different units. So yeah, cool. I like this. If I was a figure person, I would definitely be into these. So if you're a figure person and you like doing modding, these are pretty cool. Do we know how much they cost? No. I mean, in a normal world, they cost like $3, but in the world of Warhammer, they probably cost like $80. But yeah, you could probably make something out of this from something you find at like the dollar store. Basically, they're press-on nails, right? So you would just get, if you wanted to do these on the cheap, you would get some press-on nails and snip them down and then glue them on and paint them to, yeah. So I basically just ruined Games Workshop money, but my job is to save you money. So yeah, if you wanted to do the exact same thing and you didn't have $80, go get some Lee press-on nails and just do the same thing, because it's basically what they are. Moving on. And the second bit of news also comes to us from people who make figures. There's a company out there called Mantech Games, and they just made a subscription service available called The Vault. Link down below. This is basically a vault of VTT and 3D printer recipes and stuff like that. So we've got all pre-supported files on this thing's commercial license. It's a subscription service, so every month you automatically get access to a whole new month's worth of themed figures and themed VTTs. It's much more respectable than some of the other companies that do this, but still, I would say, since you're downloading files, even though these guys apparently are on the up and up, there's still always that chance. So before you install any files onto your Comptometer, run them through your mall checker, virus checker, spamware checker of choice to make sure there's nothing hiding in there other than the goodness. Do you have a 3D printer? If not, possibly your local library does that has a 3D printer you can use, or your local community college, or you have a friend. If I had the time and the money and the space, this is something I had wanted to do, do 3D printing and sell it online, but I don't have the money. And anything else? And finally, Modiphius continuing to tease us, tempt us, torment us with the Elder Scrolls license. They're releasing another expansion to their Elder Scroll board game, card game. It's not a role-playing game. It's more of a board game, miniature skirmish game. This is called Call to Arms. It's a new starter set. It's got some new miniatures. It's got a brand new website. It's got access to a couple different VTTs, like Roll20. So they are definitely teasing us that they have at least some aspect of the Elder Scrolls license. There has been a prediction that whoever got their hands on an Elder Scrolls license and made a tabletop role-playing game based upon the Elder Scroll could probably kick Wizards of the Coast off the top of the pyramid. Right now, the number one contender, of course, is Daggerheart from Darrington Press. We discussed that earlier today. But there is that, what if, fantasy bookers are out there, what if Modiphius or anybody who got the license to the Elder Scrolls and really did a good job of making an Elder Scroll role-playing game, could they be the number one contender? And Modiphius was the number one on the list of companies that could get the license. Number two being Free League, because they've also gobbled up a lot of licenses to IPs. Number three being the people who are doing Everyday Heroes, because they've also gobbled up a lot of IPs. So these were the ones where we were predicting which ones would get this. And so far, Modiphius has been the one tormenting us with the possibility that they might have access to the license with this Call to Arms board game. So they've got a new starter set coming out, some new miniatures, a new website, and of course, access to a couple different VTTs like Roll20 to play it on. So that's it for today. The link to the vault for Mantech is down below in the description. If you're a figure modder, I gave you a little free figure modding hit there, which, I don't know anything about, but I think would work. And that's it for Saturday. Till next time, I am the OG GM. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year. And if you're feeling generous, why don't you buy my merch? I've got, of course, my Minions on a Mission series over at Big Geek Emporium, but more importantly, Wretched Vigilantes, which, I made with Miguel and Sylvia over at the Red Room. That's going up right now. There's a huge interview between the two of us. up on the web yesterday. So yeah, if you appreciate this content, thank you very much and have a great day. And it looks like it's raining again, so stay dry. I'll talk to you later.